So Elinchrom just sent me a number of softboxes from the Rotalux line of softboxes, which is really awesome. They're super high quality, but instead of just talking about and doing unboxing of softboxes, that'd be super boring. I wanted to show you how different size softboxes, different size sources impact the quality of light. And what I mean by that is how these different size softboxes impact how soft your shadows are, so your highlights to your shadows and what that roll off looks like. So to demonstrate that, I packed up all the softboxes, an Aperture 600D Pro, light stand, couple cameras, and I went over to LSP Studio in Boulder and basically set up the light and cycled through all of these softboxes to just kind of show you how each of these softboxes impact the quality of light. And then we'll talk about the softboxes here at the end. And then one other thing I'll show you is how a grid can really impact the directionality of your light. So with that said, let's hop into DaVinci Resolve and kind of take a look at some different shots. So to kind of give you an idea, a little lay of the land here, basically what I've done is set up each softbox, and I've got an A camera and a B camera, and then I've got the same softbox but just with a grid on it. So first of all, we've got the Recta 90 by 110 centimeter. So as you can see here, just the softbox is basically just out of frame. You can kind of see basically the behind the scenes right here, kind of what I've got going on. And basically I just rotated through these softboxes. I didn't change anything with the location of the light or anything. I just put on the new softbox and got to the next shot. So right here you can see the roll off is still really nice and soft and looks really good. And then this is the B camera kind of shooting into the upstage side, if you will. So you got really nice roll off here, but as you'll see as we kind of go along, the roll off definitely gets softer and softer as the sources get bigger. Now, the reason why I wanted to show you this square softbox is because I think a lot of times, if you're filming interviews and you have a window in the shot that is your motivation for your key light, a lot of times it's really nice to have a square source, whether you're using some kind of 6x frame or a square softbox, because if you zoom in a lot closer, you can see that this catch light here is square, which is the same shape typically as a window. So that's what we have here. We've got the Recta 90 by 110 centimeter. I really like this softbox. It gives nice quality light, really nice soft light. Now, if I throw the grid on it, that's what this looks like. Definitely looks like a bit harsher of a roll off here. And as you can see, same thing here. So if we compare these two shots side by side, you can see that the shadows look a little harsher, but also over here you can see the directionality of the grid is really coming into effect because this background is certainly much darker. All right, so moving on to the deep Octa 100 centimeter softbox. And if we move over to the B camera here, you can get an idea of the roll off. So fairly similar between the Recta and the deep Octa 110. Since they're roughly the same size, it's gonna have pretty similar results. And then again, if you put the grid on, you can see again, the background is darker. So let's move over to the deep Octa 150 centimeters. So we're just going up in size here. And as you can see, between the deep Octa 150 and the deep Octa 100, you can see the difference in roll off here. So if I zoom in on my face, I was relying on Komodo's autofocus on this one, and I guess it missed autofocus here, but you can still see the roll off. So here we are on the 100 centimeter, and then here we are on the 150. So as we go up in size, you can see that these shadows right here on this side of my face and even on my neck are starting to get much softer. So if you compare them, obviously the larger the source, the softer the light. And then here is the B camera side of things. So to compare with the 100 centimeter here, you can see that the roll off is definitely a little softer compared to the smaller source. All right, next up we have the Octa 175. So this is the largest softbox that I have. It's a massive softbox, so really great for getting soft light, but not ideal for really small rooms. Luckily I was in a big studio. But as you can see, when I compare that to the 150, the Deep Octa 150, you can see that the roll off is even softer on the 175. And then here I've just got a comparison of the 100 centimeter versus the 175 centimeter softbox. You can really get an idea of how much softer that light is on the 175 versus the 100 centimeter softbox. And the really cool thing about the Octa 175 centimeter softbox is because it's such a large source and gives you really soft light, what I like to do a lot of times with this big of a source is put it a little bit more sidey, a little bit more off axis than a traditional like 45 degrees, because you're still going to get a really nice soft wrap of light around the talent's face, but you're going to get a little bit better of a contrast ratio if that's what you're going after. So for example, this is the 175 millimeter right here, and you can take a look. We're just like what we've been looking at right here, but if I put this off axis about 90 degrees to the talent, you can see you still get really soft light, but you're getting a little bit more contrast on the shadow side of the face and getting a little bit more moody of a look, but you still get really soft light. Now the next thing I want to show you is just how much a grid can really impact the image. So for example, this shot right here is without the grid, as you can see here, and see how much this light is kind of filling out this space. And I'm really glad I used this studio here to really show you how much of a difference that these grids make. So you can see this back wall, this is really lighting up pretty much this entire area. Now if I go put the grid on, and you'll see that I didn't change anything about this setup except for the grid. When I put the grid on, you can see just how much directionality you get out of that grid. It really focuses that light exactly where you're pointing it, and the background right here is much darker than without the grid. So as you can see, it makes a really big difference when you put the grid on, and this is really helpful for creative decisions if you're really trying to focus the light on your talent. So if you're doing like a top-down shot in the studio like this, and you just really want to have them illuminated and don't really want to have any background spill, that's why you would put a grid on your light. So that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about in this video. Hopefully it's not that long of a video. Just wanted to show you how different size softboxes impact the quality of light. Big thank you to Elinchrom for sending these softboxes out. If you are in the market for softboxes, I highly recommend you go check out these Elinchrom softboxes, the Rotalux line. They're really high quality, and they're just, the one thing I actually like about them is the speed ring is not actually attached to the rods. Now, some people might find that as a disadvantage, and there is a trade-off because it does take longer to set up than something like the Aputure Light Dome Mark II or something. However, the benefit there is if you do a lot of traveling and you're trying to save space in your checked baggage, or maybe even just on your grip van or grip truck, or maybe even just the trunk of your car, being able to detach the speed ring from the rods is, to me, I see as a benefit for that, because it just takes up a much smaller footprint. So as much as I love my Light Dome from Aputure, it does take up a lot of room when you're packing it up, because that speed ring is always going to be kind of taking up vertical height, because you can't really take out the rods. So definitely a trade-off there, but I really do like these Elinchrom softboxes, and this giant 175 centimeter softbox is ridiculous. I mean, it's basically as soft as a book light, which is amazing. Now these softboxes have an inner diffusion and an outer diffusion, and then I think there's a grid that's optional to get with it. So you're getting really soft light, and you're getting really durable materials and all that. So if you are in the market, definitely go check out Elinchrom softboxes, and I'll leave a couple links down in the description below. So yep, anyways, appreciate you watching. Hope you found it helpful, and hope to see you in the next one. Peace.